podcast. Here we go. Hello, hello. Around the block or around the world, this is where we discuss, debate, and deliberate all things diabetes, representing type 2. My name is Dobie Maxwell. She's, you know who she is. She's representing type 1. What are you, Sami?
I am vivacious, effervescent, and not really in the know and sometimes annoying.
Well, that too, but that's why we love you. She is Sami Parker. And this episode is brought to you by Sami.
The Diabetes app, a free social media app.
No, it's brought to you by you.
Oh.
It is the Diabetes app, a free social community app that brings together who?
Type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, and Dobie and I, and you can find free community resources.
Sami, back we are for another episode of JMT, and we haven't asked your blood sugars in a while, and inquiring minds want to know.
Let's look. So I'm chilling right now. Ooh, we are pulling a nice little 81. Yeah, 81 with a side arrow, which is good. It's very different from last week.
Now you're down low, up high. That's my bowling average, too, is about 81.
81? Mine's 110.
I'm kidding. I'm in Wisconsin. That's a big thing. You got to be a good bowler.
I know. Hey, wait. I have a question. Do you remember the term when you go from high to low? What is it?
High to low?
Yep. Do you remember our diabetes jargon?
No, but you know what? I can listen to the other episode before we do. Hint, hint.
It's called brittle diabetes.
Brittle diabetes. Today, we're going to go in a different direction, as we like to do. We're going to talk about celebrity diagnosis stories. Everybody likes to talk about celebrities, icons, figures of importance through history, modern, dead, living, and that's what we're going to do. We made a list. We're going to exchange it with each other and hopefully educate you and entertain you as we do it.
Exactly. And Dobie's going to he's going to name off a couple, but unfortunately not living. And I'm going to name ones that are actively living with type 1 or type 2.
Well, we decided to do that. I thought, living and dead, it would be kind of funny. And then Google can be a dangerous thing, as I turned out. It used to be, I'm old enough. I used to go to the library and pull books out. I'd have a stack of books at a table.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
I still go to the library. Well, not right now, but I used to go to the library.
Well, my point is, it's at your fingertip now. Google, bang, and you can look up anything that you want to do. So I started doing this to prepare for our episode today, and I got totally lost. I thought, boy, you know what? There's some living people. I just went with icons, iconic figures, more than dead people, because we're all going to end up dead sooner or later. The whole idea is to live.
Oh my gosh, morbid.
My point is, we're going to live as much as we can, the best we can, while we're living. So the pattern that I had got scrapped, as happens in life. But I am going to start with a dead person. Is that okay?
All right.
So I'm going to go first?
Yeah. Why don't you tell their diagnosis story first, and then I'm going to try to guess who it is.
This is a very good twist on the game. Let us do that. Okay. This person was born in 1847 and died in 1931. Okay. In 1900, diabetes was a death sentence in about 5 years if you got it.
Okay.
You would essentially pee yourself to death, usually going into a coma and never waking up. Talking about morbidity, that's what it was. And sleep deprivation, they said at the time, tends to lead to it's a type 2. I picked type 2s for this one. So this person was a type 2.
Okay.
Sleep deprivation. It's a he. I'll give you that hint. And he slept on average of 4 hours or less every night. He said sleep is for weak people. In 1,000 years, we won't be sleeping at all. Okay. His diet at his death at age 84 consisted of this: milk and cigars. I don't think he ate the cigars. I think he smoked them. It didn't say that in the actual research. Okay.
When did he pass away?
In 1931 at age 84. Now, again, I know this is way off the deep end. So now I'm going to he had over 1,300 patents to his credit. Now, that should start narrowing it down a little bit. Okay. He was an inventor. He was friends with Henry Ford, who was a big magnate at the time. He was born in Ohio. Elizabeth guessed somebody. No, I'm sorry. That is incorrect, Elizabeth. I won't say the guess because it might throw Sami off. I'm going to drop the bomb on you here. Elizabeth got
it. Drop the bomb. I have no idea. 1847 is a little beyond my years.
I understand that 2020 is a little beyond it for me. So this person is the inventor of electricity. Did you go to school?
Yes.
You can name all the Jonas Brothers, but you don't know who invented electricity.
No,
Sami, I love you, but you got to know these things. It was Thomas Edison. I'm like,
yeah. I was forgetting the first name. Oh gosh, that's the worst thing I've ever done.
Well, it's all in fun. There's no state exams on this. Elizabeth tells us Alexander Graham Bell also had diabetes, so he'll be in a future episode. A fun fact: famous people with diabetes.
And that I just stumbled because I know that there's other people that are going to be listening. Like, oh crap! I know this, but I can't think of who it is.
That's the whole idea. It's like, did you ever watch a game show like Wheel of Fortune or especially Jeopardy?
Yes.
You get in a category. It's like, well, it's easy to answer when you're sitting on your couch
Yes.
eating a bonbon with no pressure at all.
But then when somebody's like, "Who invented electricity?" and you're like, "Duh."
Yeah, and especially if you know it's coming, or if you're just kind of watching. But if you don't know the category and it's coming, I'll give you one. When I was in high school, I was on a spelling bee, a citywide spelling bee. So one kid from every high school in the town, Milwaukee, that's where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
We went on TV, and they give you a word. You don't know what's coming, and if you miss it, you're out.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first word was bicycle. Now, can you spell bicycle? I got that one right.
Yeah.
Spell it. I want you to spell it.
Bicycle.
Bingo. Good. You got it.
I used to be in all the spelling bees till 8th grade.
What happened? You're too good for it?
No, just high school. They didn't have them.
Okay. Well, we had them in high school. So my first word goes great. Second word, indict. Indict.
Indict?
Yes. Please spell indict.
INDIT.
INDICT. Indict. You're indicted.
Oh.
I know exactly right. So I knew there was a C in it. So here's what Mr. Dobie does. Indict. INDICTE. I added an E and lost.
Oh my gosh, that's like me with counterfeit. I was like COUNTER, but I was thinking I before E except after C.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like EIT. I forgot to say the F because I was focusing on it.
See, that's the thing. We're making fun of ourselves. So if you're listening and we're giving you the clues and you're not getting it, we're not making fun of you. It's just a fun game.
Yeah.
So when I went to junior high school in my neighborhood, it was Edison High School. And I didn't know who he was. And I looked it up. I just kind of jumped out and said, he was an interesting cat. So, but he did have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And they said it was a big factor in his passing. He died of complications of his type 2. So what's on your list?
All right. So this guy is a Canadian actor and singer, Elizabeth. Zach, get your game ready. He is known for work in film, television, and theater, and he was born in 1949. He's 73 years old.
Zach says Justin Bieber.
He's been in Titanic, Annie, Elias, Godspell, and let's give another one. You Again, the movie, Legally Blonde, and his diagnosis story. I don't know if this will help you really, but he basically got diagnosed at 12 years old, and it was right after his 12th birthday. It was out of the blue, and he was the first person to have it in his family. But by the time he got to the doctor, he was basically in like diabetic shock. Yeah, DKA actually, not diabetic shock because he was so high.
Did he have salty sugars? I bet he did.
He had salty sugars.
You know he did.
Yes, exactly. So that, I don't know if you can guess.
1949 Canadian actor. You said singer?
You wouldn't know if you're going to know when I say it. You're going to be like, oh, damn.
I'm just trying to think of Canadian. I know William Shatner is, but he's older. He's before 1949. The guy that played on...
He was in the movie Selfless.
Selfless.
In Argo. He was in Argo. He was in Family Law. Would that help you?
I heard of all of those things.
He was in Sleepless in Seattle. I know that one would help you.
Tom Hanks.
No.
Hank Thompson.
No.
I don't have any idea.
It starts with a V.
Starts with a V.
He was in Justice.
Justice. Val Kilmer.
No.
I don't know.
Victor Garber.
Oh, the Victor Garber?
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I've heard that name. Is he a type 1 or type 2? Do you know?
Type 1.
Okay.
He got it after his 12th birthday.
Wow. And he's got it to this day.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, Dobie, next one. Give it to me.
This is kind of two here because they ended up overlapping and swooping. Okay. And the reason I wanted to do, they're both type 2 and they're both kind of interrelated. Okay. I'll drop that.
Okay.
The first one, age 23, was drafted in the U.S. Army and he was going to go to Vietnam and fight in Vietnam. But he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and he couldn't go to Vietnam.
Okay.
So he was interested in films and he ended up being a famous film director of some of the most iconic movies of our time. Okay, I'll give you a couple.
Give me a movie.
American Graffiti.
Give me another one, please.
Indiana Jones series with Harrison
George
Ford.
Lucas.
George Lucas. I had no idea George Lucas of Star Wars fame was a type 2 diabetic since the
I didn't
age
know
of
that either.
23. It was very interesting to me. Again, Google is a dangerous thing. I'm dropping the bomb here, looking for dead people. And I said, wait, George Lucas.
Dropping the bomb, get it? The World War
Get
II.
it? Yeah, World War II. No, it was Vietnam. World War II. War is war. Not fun. But can you imagine? What if you would have went to Vietnam and been killed or severely wounded, and you never would have had Star Wars? Okay.
I actually have never seen a whole Star Wars.
What planet do you live on?
I don't like sci-fi.
Well,
I just don't.
it's funny how our generations rule the world. Now, I have a cousin who's 7 years younger than me. Once the first Star Wars movie came out, it was a mania. It was. And we have a lot of younger listeners that just don't, you read about it, you hear about it. Maybe you got into the later movies. I don't know how many they have now. But the first one really was, and people would line up and they would go see it again and again and again. I'm thinking, okay, you see it once. I saw it, I was about 14 or 15 years old. It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. Didn't stink. I saw it. Life goes on. But I think it just became an iconic sensation for people 7 years younger than me, because my cousin was 7 at the time.
Yeah.
And he was still to this day mesmerized. It has all the little figures and knows all the little iconic names and all the movies and things like that. So
no, it's pretty crazy.
It is a culture unto itself.
Yeah.
He is a billionaire, and he bet on himself. He said, if you can't pay me, just let me have the marketing of the first Star Wars movie. And they made him a billionaire. And the studio's like, wow, we don't care. So all the geeks and the nerds bought those little...
It's going to be me one day, Dobie.
There's a little Sami action figure. Exactly, there's a little diabetic meter.
The Diabetes app is an online community platform that was created to help people living with diabetes find support and information in one spot.
And on the Diabetes app, you can join groups and connect with other people all over the world who are also living with diabetes. I mean, for me, whenever I have a bad day, I find myself scrolling through the mental wellness group, just to reassure myself that I'm not alone.
The Diabetes app has a resource section where you can find articles, recipes, tips, and tricks for managing your diabetes. Download the Diabetes app today and connect with us right on the app.
DietStrong is an online telehealth platform that connects you to medical and holistic professionals to help you manage your diabetes. Find registered dietitians, nutritionists, certified diabetes educators, and more without the hassle of having to go into a doctor's office.
Wait. You mean a lazy bum like me can have appointments right from my computer? Sign me up.
That's right, Dobie. And this week, our listeners can use promo code JMT25 for 25% off their first visit.
Yeah, don't try to cheat and go to JMT26 because you're not going to get 26. It's 25. Go to www.diastronghealth.com. That's www.diastronghealth.com.
Okay, Sami, now the second guy, I don't want to give away too much, but I just thought it was interesting because he also has type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
He is originally from Manistee, Michigan.
Okay.
In his mid-60s, he got type 2.
Okay.
He is known for his vocal prowess.
Elvis Presley.
No, that's a good guess. No, it wasn't Elvis Presley. Not a vocal prowess as a singer, as an orator, a big, booming, deep voice. I'll give you a hint. This is CNN. He was the iconic voice of CNN for years, and he just did that, and that's okay. You know what? It's funny. The generation gap is a hilarious thing. You could name all these people that are super famous to you. I have no idea who they are. But it's for our listeners. We have listeners all over the board because diabetes is all over the board. There are so many different things. So we're coming together. We're having some fun. He's got 3 names. He's one of those 3 name celebrities.
Okay.
Farrah Fawcett Majors, Olivia Newton-John. So he's known by 3 names, but they're pretty common. I'll give you this. I am your father.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Very good, kid. I knew you'd get it. Yeah. James Earl Jones, the guy who played the voice of Darth Vader. There was an actor that played Darth Vader.
Yeah, the Darth Vader one gives it away. The CNN, I was like...
Well, that's why I wanted to give you clues. It's part of the fun of the game show. But, George Lucas and James Earl Jones are pretty different. They did work together. They're not really linked in any way. He just did voice work for him. But it was interesting to me that I thought our listeners might find interesting is George Lucas gets diagnosed at age 23, doesn't know about it, and James Earl Jones was in his mid-60s when he got diagnosed. And he was a large guy. So he lost, if you see him now, he's over 90. I think he's 90 or 91 now.
Is he a skinny guy now?
Yes, he is a skinny guy now. And diabetes changed his entire life. And to get it that late, that's a big, you're kind of set in your ways by the time you're in your 60s. So I just thought that was an interesting thing. I wanted to throw it out there.
It is.
Who's your second one?
Those are both good ones. Okay. This lady was born in 1966. She is from Cleveland, Ohio. She has type 1 diabetes, and she is one of the highest paid actresses in Hollywood.
That would be Sammy Parker. You're high paid.
So nice.
You were born in 66, though.
I just had a lot of work done, No, I'm kidding. I am in LA.
You live in LA, and you could be famous. And people get discovered in LA at the convenience store. It's one of two people, I'm guessing.
I can help you with this. It was during the taping of the series Living Dolls.
Is it Halle Berry?
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Yes, she fell into a coma. She lapsed into a diabetes coma during the taping of the show.
That was her diagnosis?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
And then they took her right after and she was diagnosed.
Yikes. The other guest was Salma Hayek, because she was born probably around the same time. And those are both some...
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Salma Hayek is?
Maybe if I see a picture.
She is a stunner. I mean, absolute stunningly gorgeous, as is Halle Berry.
Oh my gosh. I love her. She was in
I love
Grown
her
Ups.
too.
Yeah. No, she's amazing.
She is amazing.
My family loves her. We think she's great.
She's gorgeous. She's intelligent.
She's stunning.
She's funny. I think she speaks multiple languages.
I didn't know that she had diabetes.
Yeah, a type 2.
Wow.
I don't want to put her in an iconic... I don't mean any disrespect to her. But I mean, Thomas Edison, and you're talking about George Lucas. Not that Salma Hayek isn't a fantastic success in every way, shape, and form, but I didn't put her in that same category. Yeah, I discovered that she was too. Even more respect.
Yeah, she got gestational diabetes.
Salma Hayek did?
Mm-hmm. Which, if you have gestational diabetes, you're at risk for type 2. Greater risk.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Well, so we covered both of them right there. Halle Berry is, she's pretty famous too.
Yeah, that one's pretty crazy. Okay, my next one is another amazing lady. And she is an American actress, comedian, author. And she was a co-host of the daytime talk show, The View.
She was or she is?
She was, not anymore. But she is 55 years old. She's from Chicago, Illinois.
That is right in my backyard, the stomping grounds.
Her name is my mother's name, if you remember her name.
Mom's Mabley. That's an old-time comedian. I'm sorry. Your mom's name is Mother.
You don't remember my mom's name, but I would have given you a major clue. She's pretty short.
She's pretty. She's short. She's pretty short.
Pretty short. She has type 2 diabetes, and her name starts with an S. S-H.
Sherry?
Yes.
Sherry Baby. What's her last name?
Sherry Shepherd.
Sherry Shepherd. I'm sorry. I'm not a regular watcher of The View.
It's okay. I didn't really know either.
I recorded all the episodes. I'll have to watch them after our recording.
It's okay.
Because I was wondering, because you said actress comedian, I thought Whoopi Goldberg, but she's not 55.
No, she got diagnosed with prediabetes, but then it was like, apparently it said that she kind of shrugged it off. And then a week before she started the talk show, The View, she was diagnosed with type 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dropped the bomb.
And then she kind of has dealt with it since then. But now she's pretty active. So she apparently her thing is to do 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes of?
Anything. Lunges, jumping jacks.
Okay.
A walk.
Walking for 15 minutes?
Yep.
Is that enough? I don't know. Not to me. I gotta be up. Anyway, so that's another one. You want to drop one more?
You want to drop one? Actually, I can drop one more. All right, I got a good one. Okay, so this guy, you might have named him. American singer, songwriter, actor.
Americans?
He's super, super attractive. 29 years old. He's from Texas. Disney Channel star.
Tennessee Ernie Ford.
A part of a little boy band.
No, I know who it is. It's Nick Jonas.
Yes.
Because you and Elizabeth drool every time you say Nick Jonas. And it's
I am determined. My mom saw him on a
Yes.
flight. And I'm like, I am determined to get him on the podcast.
Well, I think we should. And I'll make fun of him. I'll bash him.
We had the same diagnosis age. Well, basically, he was 13. I was 12. What can
No,
I say?
it's funny to me. With celebrity, we're all gaga over somebody as a celebrity. And sometimes they don't see themselves as a celebrity. Sometimes they do. When I was a kid, I went to a baseball game with my grandpa. And these were high school kids playing baseball. I was probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And the guy that was playing close to me, the third baseman, I went up and asked him for his autograph after the game because I thought that's what you do. And he looked at me like, get away from me. What's wrong with you? And it's like, I'm a little kid. And to me, he was a big time celebrity.
Yeah.
And he blew me off. So my point is, it's funny. Like I could name people that I think are, and you just Jonas. I'm sure he's a very nice guy. I'm sure he's great. But you know what I'm saying? It's the people that are gaga over him. And is he type 1 or type 2?
He's type 1. He got it. He's been like one of the biggest advocates as far as like celebrity advocates for diabetes, which is really cool.
No, it is really cool. Now the rest of the brothers don't have it. Just him.
No, just him.
Interesting. Let's make a shot to get him on the show.
Oh, I will get him on the show. That's the goal.
Because you'll just be, you and Elizabeth will have a bib just drooling on it, and Zach and I will just say, "Hey, Nick, now tell us the shiz here. What's up?
I know.
What's wrong? Are you the mailman's kid? The rest of the brothers they don't have it. You do.
I know. I'm serious.
But guilty as charged.
Okay, do you have another one?
Let's go. Interesting. Well, I have one for you.
Okay.
Speaking of singers, he was born on January 8th, 1935, Tupelo, Mississippi. He was a star of 33 movies. He passed away tragically at the age of 42 when he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He had other problems, but he was shocked and did not proceed to do any treatments whatsoever. He ignored his diagnosis. In fact, it angered him. And he died at age 42 on August 14th, 1977. He ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yes, who I guessed. Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. You said it before. I didn't want to give it away totally. I just want to see if our listeners could.
My mom is obsessed with Elvis Presley.
Really?
She said she married my dad because she thought he looked like Elvis Presley.
Because you look like Elvis. Thank you very much, baby.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Hound dog. And the Elvis impersonators, to me, they're the worst because they don't get it. Elvis had a charisma, like him or not, and he really was a star. And back in the time when that wasn't it, when media was just kind of coming, he was at the right place at the right time, and he was the right person.
Place at the right
He was handsome.
time.
He would sing. He was humble. He was a good person. On Christmas, Elvis would be at Graceland writing checks. If you could prove that you're a charity, Sami Parker charity, diabetic charity, whatever it was, he would write you a check for $100,000. No questions asked.
Pretty wild.
I mean, he was an icon of his day. But the type 2, my point is, untreated, undiagnosed. He was diagnosed, but he had everything that we think we want. Rich, handsome, famous, everything he wanted. His diabetes went unchecked. And he had other demons too, but that was a part of it. He was 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
His diet was horrible. I'm sure he didn't exercise.
I didn't realize he was that overweight.
He was pretty big. He was pushing $3. I think he was about maybe 6 feet tall. So at his death, look at some of his late videos.
Wow, I didn't realize
they had to pack him into that suit. He was 3 pounds of beans in a 2-pound bag. I'll put it that way. I mean, 42 is not that old. For you, it is. For me, it isn't. And I look at him and it's like he had a lot of bad mind.
42 is not old, Dobie. 40 is the new 50, baby.
Well, I get that. I mean, but look at the people, the famous.
Wait. 50 is the new 40.
50 is the new 40, 40 is the new 50. You guys have nothing to worry about. It's amazing when we're young. I was young once, believe it or not. And I thought it's never going to be me. And sure enough, you wake up one day, it's like, oh, shiz, here it is. So you got to live a good life. Every day
Live a good life
that you can. And so Elvis was a type 2 diabetic.
Oh, that's a good one. I did not know that one.
It is good. I didn't know either. That's why I think when Elizabeth gave us this assignment, I thought, you know what, I want to dig into this. I know there's got to be some famous icons. And I thought several hours went into this episode to dig it up. I'm just fascinated reading about all this stuff.
I know. It's kind of crazy because I feel like people, I don't know, at least with celebrities, it's always there's this sense of untouchable, which is frustrating because I think it can, they're just regular people too. So it's cool when you hear them deal with something because it's oh, they have the same stuff I have. Life's not just flowers and dandelions.
Don't you think that if you are a fan of celebrity, don't you think it's even more of a fan when you find out the person has diabetes? It is for me, because if we have it, it's like someone else has it. It's I like them even more now.
Yes, because there's something said about that they have to deal with something that's so demanding and not impressive, but it's admirable.
Extra challenge.
Managing diabetes, I think, is an admirable trait. Reasons why you want to date a diabetic.
Well, that's the thing, too. I think, when you marry Nick Jonas and I marry Salma Hayek, I thought she was gorgeous before. Then I found out she had diabetes. It's you know what? Your husband's going to leave you. He's going to get abducted by a UFO.
Yep.
You'll be single. I'll be on stage. You'll be at a show. And you'll be there at the Nick Jonas. I mean, you just hope it might. I'm being facetious, but I'm not. Diabetes is a bond. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's why our podcast is here. So this was a fun episode. We could do about 10 more of these. I know I got a bunch more, and I'm sure you can find.
I have so many more celebrities I could do.
We have a question in the pod. We're winding it down, though. What's the question in the pod today?
Dobie, do you want to ask it?
Okay. Who is your celebrity crush? Question in the pod. Who is your celebrity crush?
Mine is so not Nick Jonas. Not at all.
No, okay. So you don't like the Bees?
Who's yours? Oh, wait. This is celebrity crush in general, too, right? Oh, my gosh. Chase Crawford, Elizabeth. You are preaching right now to the right person.
No, I don't even know who that. I know Cindy Crawford. Okay, mine is Cindy Crawford. You marry Chase Crawford. I'll marry Cindy Crawford. We'll have a double wedding.
Okay. Like, wow. Yeah.
Well, he's the bomb.
Who's yours?
I just said Cindy Crawford.
Oh, it actually is. Okay.
Yeah, you said Chase Crawford. I'll say Cindy Crawford. I just heard Midwest. She's from the area, and she's just everybody says that has met her said she is just like down to earth, easygoing, friendly. That's kind of a Midwestern thing. So I like her even more.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Right? Gotta love it.
You haven't seen Stuck Up Jerk until I make it. Oh, I'm kidding.
Well, as you can share who your celebrity crush is and share it with us on our social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at JustMyTypePod _ Facebook at JustMyTypePod and hashtag JustMyTypePod. Dobie?
We love hearing from you. We love talking to you. Please contact us. Hit like, thumbs up, whatever you got to do.
5-star rating.
5-star rating would be really nice. Hope to meet you in person someday. And it's time now to put a sugar-free cherry on the healthy Sunday. Sammy?
Say la vie, baby.
This is the Just My Type podcast.